So, ladies and gentlemen, I must say I'm really thrilled to have you here today and touched at some of the comments you have made because they have taken me several years back. And the most important thing for me as a teacher, the most satisfying thing is to see that out of my mistakes or duty, we have managed to come up with a group of people whom I can be proud of. I'm really proud of you having been my students. And when I look back in nostalgia, I feel if there was any way we could be taken back to those times and really be able to reenact some of those incidences that you have mentioned, it would be a lot of fun. As a teacher, I think it was a calling. It's not a question of training or a job that I was doing. To me, it has always been a calling to have been a teacher. And I'll tell you why. I started teaching when I was in Form 2. And that's a long time ago. Form 2, 1968.
Wow. 4 years after independence.
The reason I did that was because I was from a very poor family, and my parents could not make ends meet. We were living in Nairobi, and apart from hawking up and down, if there's anything one of us could do to supplement the income, it was always welcome. So I would go to school, I would walk from Eastlands all the way to Upper Hill School. Those days it used to be called Delamere Boys. You know, those of you who know where Hamza Road is, Jericho, along the Go Road, through industrial area, up to that place. So I was in that school for 6 years. But the 60 shillings I used to earn, which I never pocketed, because my parents would always go for my salary. I think it did a lot to assist those days. And eventually when I went to university, I was at a loss because during our time, university admissions used to be published in the papers, you know. But this faculty, this faculty, I found myself in 2 faculties. I was supposed to have done land economics, and then I also appeared in the fine arts department, you know, because I also did fine art up to Form 6. It was my 4th principle, so I got 4 principles to, you know, to increase your power to get to university. So I did not know what land economics was, but whatever it was, you know, ignorant parents those days. I didn't want to do it. So during that time, we used to have 2 weeks off. Shopping around, you change your whatever. And I found this group of noisy people who are very happy to have been there doing education. So I inquired and I was told, yes, this is where you train to become a teacher. I said, good, teacher all the time. So I joined them, and I've never regretted. I never regretted having not done the course that I was admitted, and I decided I was going to be a teacher through and through. So I loved teaching. About the money, that's aside, but teaching was my calling. And came a time when I wanted to get married. I remember my father-in-law saying, no, you better go to another profession, because he was a man of means. I was taken to so many offices, big offices. And I sat back and said, no, if I happen to become a big man somewhere, I don't think it would be very good, because my wife would now start telling me if it was not for my father. So I said, no, I'm a teacher, I trained for this. That was the first instance, the first challenge. The second challenge was when I was appointed a head teacher. Just before I was appointed, I remember I was in Masi. There was a big change in terms of lifestyle from Machakos boys to Masi. There was no electricity then. You know, water was salty. Kids were complaining. My children. So where did you bring us here? You know, that kind of stuff. And they were now starting to be of school-going age. So I sent out word that I want to change. I now want to quit teaching. That coincided with my appointment as a head of school. So I had to make a choice. That was Frank. Frank was a long-time friend of mine. He was then the financial controller for Block Hotels. And I remember he even conducted a fake interview. Fake because he was chairing. He's a friend of mine. And we have been friends all through, but I disappointed him. Because at that time, my colleagues at Masi said, no, this is an opportunity for us to change this school forever. So I toyed around with that option, and finally I told my friend Frank, I'm a teacher, let me go down there and find out what there is. I still went. Yeah. So I took over the school, and for sure, the rest is history. A lot happened, the school improved, and then I said yes. From there, came down to Changuli, and then Kathiani. I remember my last speech at Kathiani, I left people crying, but then I had to make them happy. So I told them, you know what, I'll be the principal of that school 1 week. I'll be coming back here. I'll be alternating. Another week.
But you knew you were going.
So it was very difficult. It was actually not easy to leave Changuli to go to Kathiani, because we had an impression about Kathiani, and we were not happy about the way the school had been run all this time. And we were also privy to information that there was a lot of interference from other quarters. You know, there were powerful people who could not allow you to work and so forth. So I said, okay. I resisted until finally I got a letter asking me why I should not be disciplined for failing to report to my administration. So when I came to Kathiani, I was really frustrated.
So you also forced.
I was really frustrated. Because you've never known something like that. You have been to school, you know how to do your work, but you're dealing with somebody who does not need any education to tell you what to do. And that is very bad, because you're getting orders, and you know they are wrong, and you're supposed to implement. So when I came there, I said, one thing I told the board, if I'm going to run the school, I am the trained person. You people, step aside and do not interfere. So there was also a lot of stress in running that institution. A lot of it. Because if as much as I would buy a bag of maize costing, let's say, 1,000 shillings in Machakos, I was not supposed to buy it. Because I'm supposed to buy this one which costs 1,800. You know? Two things that I went through, but you people never knew. You never knew.
What we
Right?
knew was that our maize and beans are egg.
Yes. And then there's even one time I said, school is broke. We have no money. And I look around, we have trees. So I said, let us save money trimming trees. You know, in started.
By the government or by who?
No, by by the local so-called cronies, taken by the chief and all that. And
The wings.
yeah, yeah. So it was not easy, but I learned how to get rid of them. I learned how to operate independently. I became labeled Kichwa Ngumu. I said, yes, that's who I am. And I said, I even told the workers to start their own canteen. And they could sell bread also, because that was also another area where, anyway, all those things are irrelevant. When it comes to the administration of the school, it was difficult, but I tried as much as I could to bring teachers together and to identify. You know, there's always a team. You can know that these ones can deliver. I was also involved in exams in the district for a long, long time. Being the chair of the district school examinations, you know, the mock. So those days I was dealing with the exams in Machakos and the greater Machakos, the current Makueni. So I would organize exams for all the schools those days. So I was able to bring the teachers together. Fortunately, some of them are very close to me, like Cheva. And I was also able to bring others whom I knew were going to form a formidable team, so that we transform this institution within a very short time, and we create an impact, so that we can also fend off all these other interested parties. So that's what they did. So I remember we used to have meetings and stuff, and I would insist, if you don't give me the results I want, prepare the reasons, isn't it? The reasons. Yeah. So while you people were celebrating, if you didn't give me the results I expected from you as a teacher, you have another thing coming, because you are in trouble. Because some of them used to fall sick whenever we had meetings.
I can see how he's getting some nuggets.
Yeah, because I've given you everything. And I've provided leadership. I've provided whatever facilities you require. I've given you extra. We have made it possible for you to even teach at night if you want. We have instilled discipline in these kids. What they're waiting for is what? Knowledge. And we keep telling these students, you know, there's one thing to teach, but there's another to make the student feel that he is able. You know, to change the mental attitude of this child, so that the child believes in himself or herself, that there is no other better school than the one you are in. That you are in the best school, and you didn't make a mistake of coming to Kathiani. And that if you come to Kathiani and you leave this school without tangible results, then you have wasted your life. You see the point? You're talking to people every Monday, every Friday. Every Monday, every Friday. In this form or the other. And this student starts gaining that confidence. The student starts feeling, yes, I am actually among the best. I don't see why I should be in Kathiani and not have a certificate to show that this is what I got. So it became a crime inwardly for any student to imagine that they had come there and they had failed. It was actually a very, very sad thing. And so you start with that student in Form 1, and that student already starts feeling like a success. Whatever you do, you're successful. You see other schools, you sympathize with them because they'll never get near you, isn't it? It is that attitude, that mental preparation that makes difference. Makes you feel, what will I tell my village? So the fear that you will get out of that institution and not be able to tell people what you got, that one used to scare students.
To me, it was great. Actually,
Isn't it?
It's true.
And the parents coming there to look for vacancies. Do you know, I'm very proud. All those years, I never took a bribe to get a student to that school. And I can shout that on top of a mountain. Never. But I've also taken failures, and they end up excellent. Because you actually do the failure. You say, no, it is true.
I got through the back door. Yeah, that's what I know.
He was in education system. So he comes to me, your uncle. You can't deny him. Just tell him, okay, we'll fix the boy, whatever, and we'll take care of him. So, most important thing is for the students themselves to act the way they are advised. You know, okay, you say this man was harsh. Good. But the harshness is coupled with a direction, a sense of direction that you're being headed towards a particular direction. It was not punitive. No, being punitive, it means that maybe you're just enjoying doing ABCD, beating boys up and down. No. I made sure that every Monday, every Friday, there was a different topic to be given to the students. A whole year, and for 4 years. Right? Because I've lived the system. I was a student. I've gone through hardships. I've gone through tribulations. I know what it is to be a student. So I bring myself to your level and tell you what you think you're doing. Right? So I leave your experience and I tell you how it can affect you as a student, and you start realizing, this man, although he beats boys around, he's not very bad after all. Is it?
I realize that.
Yes. And when I'm not even there, like one of you said, on a Monday for an assembly, it becomes
boring.
very boring.
For sure.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You can't
There
say
was
that.
a
You can't say that.
As you can say,
You can't say that. We know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You only knew when he's out in the charcoal.
Yeah.
And
But
come
you
next.
forever.
Forever.
As in
So you're Madanguda orphans.
Orphans.
Yeah, so you would make it a point to cancel the students and also to cancel teachers. Teachers also do have a problem. And so you look at them as your firstborns, you know, and you you counsel them professionally, and you make them realize that it is fun to teach, and it is also satisfying to see results. Of course, you correct them here and there, but most of the time you show them that you're a team, and whenever there's success, you're part of it. In fact, I think every time the results were announced during my time at Kaviani, teachers would celebrate and they would jump up and down. Some would even cry, you know? And they would even, they would just say, no, let us just sit and enjoy ourselves. So there was no learning that day. We just sit, run up and down. In the evening, of course, you never used to know. We'd go and take our drink
Imbibe.
and-
This one a special meal.
No, in the evening the car will be on the office, outside office.
Yeah, when you
So
see it there,
realize that-
you know I'm around somewhere.
Actually, we never knew that.
So we were a very good team. I was able to formulate a very, very good team. And if it wasn't for whatever happened, I think Katiani High School was headed to the stars.
It was.
It was headed to the stars. And, remember it was a mixed school with its challenges. But those challenges, we never used to see them ourselves. Being mixed was not anything we ever thought about. So, but of course, if it was today when they are separated and we are still there, I'm sure it would be very far.
Well, it's a beauty to a missed. It's the second cover.
Yeah,
Cover
generally,
is missed. Very
it would be. That is where we were headed before we were rudely interrupted.
For sure.
Yeah,
That was a rude interruption.
it was a very rude interruption. Yeah, I remember I had to leave. I had to leave the school because of those other factors I mentioned. I realized I was not wanted there. Because even my colleagues, the colleagues were saying, those are heads of schools.
right now. Right.
That time.
Oh,
Because
yeah, colleagues and others.
colleagues, yeah. Because one, there are those who wanted to come to the school. Two, there are those who felt that I'm humiliating with the results because they would be asked to come to me for a seminar with their teachers, to show them what we do and how. So they also felt humiliated and all that. And finally, I had to leave. But with a heavy heart because I had not achieved what I had set out to achieve at that year. But then I hoped whoever comes will roll the wheel like we had been rolling it. But it did not happen.
The road became
The standards were so high. It was not.
I'm sure it's very painful.
It was not possible.
It's very
It was
painful.
very painful.
Yeah,
Every time
having built.
yeah, you see, you at times feel you're working for no reason. Why should you even attempt? Because when you need to just a bit more effort to get to that level, they tell you, and it's even worse. Wherever you go, you find that the school is not going down. You feel very pained, very pained. So when I went there later, I was not happy, and I told them. In fact, I remember I was with you. Remember, I even used this idiom by the canvas. That time I was their boss. I was telling them, "Valando de Kawativo, Tivo Valoka." They never imagined I would go back there as a provincial director of education. So they felt humbled, but I told them it was their fault. That whatever